I think that every single person that ever decides that he's going to improve himself, become the best version of himself, is either in one of these categories or is going to find himself in one of these categories. So I think it's going to be a fun video. If you're interested, you can keep watching. If you were expecting something more valuable, you can go on to check my other videos. I provide hefty amounts of value. I have like hour and hour long, even 2 hour long videos. So if you're interested in that kind of content, go into my channel and watch other videos. For this video, let's stick to what we decided. 5 different stages of self-improvement. Stage 1 is the noob. This person he feels alienated in his own friend group. He feels wrong hanging out with these degenerate people, but because of how the society wants us to be friends, he's just stuck with these friends because they're in the same school, same class, and maybe even in the same gender. So most of the guys in his class are his friends. So he's stuck with this friend group that he feels alienated among. They keep talking about porn, they keep talking about TV shows and video games, and he doesn't care or understand any of it. He feels like he's meant for something greater than just getting a 9 to 5 job. He feels like his purpose, his higher calling, the reason why he's been put on this planet is something more than just getting a 9 to 5 job, just becoming a slave to his boss. He decides that he has to do something about it. He's motivated, he is confused, he's angry about the way society wants us to be, the way the education system has mentally designed us, our entire life in front of us. But most of all, he doesn't really know what he wants. Like, he knows that he doesn't want to get a job, but he doesn't know what else is there for him. He feels excited, but most of all, he feels confused and scared because if he decides not to go down the path of getting a 9 to 5 job, getting married, getting kids, and just dying, the other way is endless opportunities by all means, but it is also non-conventional, and society is going to hate him for it. And society is not really, and the education system is not really going to help him. Nobody is. So he's on his own. With all of this in his mind, he takes an oath to himself to become a better version of himself. He watches these online leaders on Instagram and YouTube, like Andrew Tate, Iman Ghazi, Alex Hormozi, and he feels like these men don't have anything that he doesn't have, that he can also do what they did. He feels motivated. He feels like the society is robbing him of his own potential. That is the stage 1, the noob, the beginner. Stage number 2 is what I call my dream avatar. This is the person that, let's say, is interested the most in self-improvement. This person will binge watch my videos, will binge watch Alex Hormozi, will binge watch Andrew Tate, will binge watch Hamza. And he feels extremely relatable to all of these people. He feels like these men started where I started as well. Then by logic, I can become, if I follow their advice, I can become the person they are, or even better. He has been binging their content for hours a day for months and months and months straight. He can sense his brain. He can sense the proverbial wires of his brain getting more detangled. Things have started to make sense to him. Earlier he knew that he didn't want to do the 9 to 5 job, but now that he has access to this group of men who also had the same thought process, the same mindset as him, he now understands why he actually felt that way. He understands why some people feel like they have a higher purpose, feel like they have a higher calling. It's because they're supposed to achieve more. It's because they're supposed to create a difference in this world. He actually believes that he can achieve what these men have achieved. He actually believes that he's meant for something more. The motivation is at its absolute peaks right now. He hasn't done anything yet. He's still the same not degenerate, but the still noob that he was. But now he has immensely more knowledge than he previously did. He now has the ability to create a plan or strategize in his journey of self improvement. He has not more skills, but he has more capabilities. He learns about different aspects of self improvement. He learns about working out. He starts going to the gym even. This leads us to the third stage. This is what I call the action taker. This stage or these kind of people are very rare in my opinion, because a lot of people consume my content. A lot of people consume Hamza's content, but not everybody is going to be as successful or more successful than him. Not a lot of people are going to be making the same progress that I made, and that's simply because they refuse to take action. It's because they're okay with being mediocre. But a very tiny amount, very tiny, like substantially tiny amount of people refuse to accept that. They refuse to believe that they will lose simply because they're arrogant and they're lazy, and just because they're not going to take action. They understand that the simple reason behind their success, like the leaders that he's watching, the simple reason behind their success is that they took action, improved on those actions again and again, over and over. They failed by all means, but they kept improving, kept learning from their mistakes, and they never quit. If he understands that if he nails these three things, there is nothing that's going to stop him from achieving his goals. And so comes the honeymoon phase. This is where he's making so much progress that it's actually stupid. He falls in love with self-improvement because he's suddenly extremely consistent at the gym. He's suddenly extremely consistent with his efforts into improving himself, into becoming a better man. He starts keeping a habit tracker because he learned about it from maybe me. He starts to take cold showers in winters because he learns that is going to regulate his dopamine system more. He left his old degenerate habits. He stopped watching porn. He stopped playing video games. He's not watching that much TV anymore. He's not on Netflix all the time because he understands the value and the worth of his time. He understands that he's young and he has a lot of energy and a lot of time, and those are the only two resources that are going to be depleting for him as the time progresses. So he makes a promise to himself that he's going to utilize these two resources to his maximum effort, and he does exactly that. Motivation is at its absolute peak. Progress is at its absolute peak, but it doesn't stay that way, does it? If you've been taking action for any amount of time, you'll know this. That takes us to the next point. This is what I call the reality check, the soy boy. I say soy boy because most people, and by most I don't mean like 55-60%, I mean like 98-97%. Most people will give up at this stage because as soon as the honeymoon phase is over, as soon as the fun part is over, when motivation was at its peak, as soon as that part is over, it's just pure silence. You're left with your thoughts, you're left with your mind, you're left with your excuses, you're left with your self-doubts. Suddenly the old habits start creeping back to you. Suddenly you relapse. Suddenly you find yourself on Netflix for 2 days straight. You suddenly catch yourself scrolling on Instagram for 3 hours. And you question yourself, you ask yourself, have I really improved? Am I the same person that I used to be? Like, why did I just go back to this being the old version of me when I had made so much progress? Is that what consistency is? Is this the punishment for being inconsistent? You start to lose motivation, you start to lose focus even. You forget the benefits of cold showering. You forget the benefits of waking up early. You forget the benefits of being consistent at the gym. And so a lot of people give up right here. But a selected few very few, but a very selective few. These are the men who are actually going to change the generation. These are the men who I can I can proudly say that I'm going to lead these men to fucking battle. These men will help me create a better generation, create a better world for our kids at the next generation. These men are going to be fucking amazing, the absolute superheroes. Which takes us to the next and final stage. Stage 5 is the Gigachad stage, the wisdom stage, right? This is when you get out of this phase of your motivation going down. You understand that motivation is not the right fuel for your engine. That discipline is the right way. That delaying gratification is the right way. You understand all of these tools are useful by all means, but it's more important to work on this, your mindset. You understand that the importance of stoicism, not taking action and not letting your actions be affected by your emotions. You understand the correct mindset, the growth mindset. You start working towards building a better mental health. You start working towards building up your discipline. And that's when you reach the wisdom, the Gigachad stage, where you're not really worried about your progress. You're not really worried about breaking your consistency because it's not like you're yo-yoing on your progress. You understand that there are different seasons to your progress. Just because you open Instagram for 10 minutes a day doesn't mean that you've gone back to the old version of you that you used to be. You also understand that you cannot allow yourself to slip. You don't allow yourself to go too deep into the rabbit hole of becoming the older version of yourself. You don't watch porn ever. You rarely eat cheat meals, but you do include cheat meals because you want to live your lifestyle. You cut yourself from degenerate people, but you still hang around the friends that are actually valuable for you, that don't mess up your mental health, that are actually goal oriented, that actually help you and nudge you in the right direction to achieving your goals. You finally find the balance of imbalance, where you live in extremes, but you find so much happiness in it. The majority of your day is spent working, but then a little amount of time you also spend enjoying your life, doing what you love, playing some game on your phone, watching a Netflix series. But you do that after you've done the work, so you make sure that you're still making progress towards your end goal, and you're not just gonna crumble into the degenerate old self that you used to be. You understand that self-improvement is a tool to reaching your goal. Self-improvement itself is not a goal. You understand the value of consistency, discipline, hard work, becoming a high-value man. That becomes your goal. Not making a lot of money, not becoming famous on YouTube or Instagram, but instead becoming the high-value, best version of yourself. Becoming the ideal man that your kids can look up to, that your women can respect and love. That is, in my opinion, the Gigachad stage. That is all I have for you in this video. Hopefully you had fun watching this video. Maybe this was not as valuable for you, but I had some fun making this video. Let me know in the comments which stage of self-improvement or what kind of person you are in the self-improvement journey. I myself believe that I'm somewhere in between the soy boy, where the motivation going down and everything, and the wisdom stage. So I haven't really reached the peak of masculinity, the peak of high value man, but I do believe that I'm on the way. I'm building a community of high value men or men who want to become high value. If you think you're one of them, subscribe to my channel right now so you can become a part of this community, and I can help you in your own self-improvement journey by videos just like this every other day for this month. And I'll see you in the next video.